go. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
Well, good evening, everybody. How's it going? So I am live from Walmart. Always running late. Had some issues with prep for the procedure I'm having tomorrow, so it makes me late. Made me late. So I'm riding, not driving. So when I get home, I'll get on my computer and it'll be much better visual anyway. So, you know, I saw some real, I don't know, ugly stuff earlier, and people attacking good people and talking trash about them, and well, I'm here to, you know, straighten that up. Somebody's got a question, somebody's got something to say, you know, let's hear it. I got somebody coming to interview me, the lady who was absolutely disrespected, in my opinion, earlier.
That stinks. What you open that call?
Is that beef jerky?
Oh my God.
But
we're gonna run you home and then go get pizza.
they said, hello, Thelma, we love you.
Hello guys, I love you guys too.
Mystery lady, that's exactly it. Yeah. The whole term. Oh, I'm ready. You can come on up. Alicia.
I need Taco Bell, you want pizza?
Who, me or Hunter?
Hunter will eat Taco Bell if you want to.
Yeah.
I just might get Taco Bell.
Yeah, get me one of those things with no sour cream.
Okay.
I'll be good to go.
Okay. I think I'm gonna get Taco Bell. I think I might get everybody.
Actually, I can't have it.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. You're out of luck.
I'll have yellow. I'll have yellow.
Does that have Jello in the refrigerator?
Yeah, that belongs to your dad. You can't have it.
No, I know. I'm not so full of it currently, mystery lady. I think I'm about half empty now. Hello, Never Silent.
After I take that in. Okay.
I mean, I've had a great day, an amazing day. I just saw that stuff on YouTube earlier, and I don't know. People want to sit and preach and talk about.
And see what will you tell Natalie they don't have
their morals
burritos no more?
And the lack of morals of others, and why would this guy do that or do this or do that? And
They don't have those no more.
it's them. Like, what have they done? What have they done?
I might just get a box of tacos. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine, Alicia. So I'll talk till I get home. It'll be about 10 minutes. Like, I was watching old Pa and Ma, the Liberators, earlier, and they were talking about bullying. Why do you think it's fair? Why do you think it's fair? Why do you think it's fair? Well, here's your little nugget of information. I was in Mama T's chat one day, and Pa Liberator came in. How you doing, Liberator? How's it going? Oh, it's doing okay. We're doing okay. I just trying to raise some gas money. Okay. Nobody said nothing. You came in there e-begging. Nobody even pointed it out. What do you need gas money for? Pa Liberator. Go get Ma. She's down in Tennessee. She's been taking care of somebody. I don't even remember who it was. Don't care. But you said needed the gas money. This coming from a guy who don't ask for nothing. He works for a living. He don't ask for nothing from the government. Don't ask for nothing for nobody. He works for a living. I always got money. I always got food. I always got money. Just that day he didn't have none. And when his tools got stolen, he didn't have none. And when his tools got stolen again, he didn't have none. Okay. But anyway, he asked for the gas money. How much money do you need, Pa Liberator? Oh, about $40. Okay. So here comes BDAC, who at that point was doing nothing but bullying, chasing people from chat to chat. If they were a friend of mine, he would try to be evil about it, bully them. Don't care how sick he is, he was bullying. So when I saw him send him the $40 in gas money, I said it. I said, and it wasn't pointed towards the Liberators, it was pointed towards BDAC. I said, BDAC's trying to buy people. He went in Mama T's chat and gave $40 to the Liberator for gas money. Oh my God. Well, after that, here comes the Liberators bullying me. Don't say it ain't true, boy. Every show you've had since then's been about me. One live stream you've had since that day that hasn't been about me. If you can show one, you can have my channel. Show it. Every time you get on your damn channel, you talk about me. Every time. So when I started pushing back, oh, Jimbo's a bully. Jimbo's a bully. No, dude. They ain't bullying. And I didn't come after Mama T. I asked her, why she was a victim's advocate and wanted victims of DV and other things SA, among other things, why she was hiding something from her family. People are supposed to trust her, but she didn't come forth with that stuff. So I want to know why. Why are you being a hypocrite, Mama T? So that made me a bad guy, right? Yeah, didn't it? Yeah. Made me the bad guy. Alicia knows. I'm not going to say who told me, who brought me the information. I'll never say it. But Alicia knows who it was. She saw the same information at the same time I did. So there, Mama T. Now, I'll ask you again. Point blank, tell me. Why did you say you're a victim's advocate? Why did you say that SA victims, DV victims, can trust you? Well, obviously now you're claiming that you're a victim of DV. You're saying it right now. Behind Butch's back. That's what you're saying. You and Nicolina spreading it all over the place. But other victims are supposed to trust you and come to you? Come on now. It don't add up. Maybe you should get help. Mama T, would you go to somebody? Would you go to somebody that is living the life of a DV victim and ask for help? I think not. Believe it for 1 second. So, you shouldn't be an advocate. You shouldn't claim to be an advocate. And that's a good point, Chaotic. Let me say this. Why would a victim come to you? You yourself hid your father, the lifetime RSO. For the rest of his life, he's got an RSO. Why would a victim of that come to you? Because when you were called out on it, what did you do? Immediately, what did you do? You blamed the 13-year-old girl. Didn't you? You blamed the victim. But you're a victim's advocate. No, you ain't. So I'm the bad guy for calling that out. I'm the bad guy for calling that out. Make it make sense. You listen to me speak. I speak intelligently. Clear sentences. I don't have to use the F word every other word. I don't have to call somebody an MFer, fat MFer, bald fat MFer. You don't have to use the R word, which you received a strike for. You did it. And then you blame me. You blame me for you getting the strike over the R word. How? What? Make that make sense. You broke terms of service and blame me for you getting the strike. How does that work? Sarah, huh?
No.
Oh, that's E. Oh, I sent you a text about that. Can you check it, please?
Yeah, I will.
All right. I'm here at the house, guys.
Honey, you can get up front with
I will.
you want to. There's something later I'd like to address on there.
Okay, you can.
What? Okay.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Look, the sit is standing. Uh-oh. I can walk. We're gonna address some of that too. We're gonna have a good conversation tonight. Good conversation. All right, y'all give me just a second here. I'm gonna go in the house. There, my big boy. What you doing, buddy? Hey, buddy. Oh, don't trip me up, turkey. Uh-oh. They been in here? Is the door left open?
It was, I got you. I left it open. Oh.
Everybody home yet?
For momentarily, Mommy's outside. She getting ready to run back and get food. Okay, just a minute. Sorry for the dead air. Gonna have to get a new fan for the desktop. It's not cooling right. Here we go. Let me do this until it gets loaded up. Do it like this. All right, Lisa, you can come up anytime. Hello, Alicia Turner.
Hello, Jimbo Collins.
How are you doing?
I'm
almost
good.
got my computer loaded now, so it might give us a little feedback for a second. All right, if I get in here, I can exit out of this one.
Aliens got him.
I'm back.
That was quick.
All right. Now we're here.
So I wrote down some questions after I was on Liberators earlier today.
Yeah.
Some of the things that they asked me that I don't know all the answers to, and some of them that I think I know the answers to, but I just, go over it again since I was, confronted and asked about it. And that's why I wanted to kind of wait until you were in your office and away from the kids, because some of the things that they asked me about or said wasn't really kid friendly.
Right.
What is that noise?
Hit me with your best shot.
I still like, yeah, it sounds like a robot.
It's I guess going every now and then.
No, it's making this like clicking noise
I don't hear
or
it.
something. Yeah, like a jackhammer noise.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can fix myself here. Hang on.
Or an enhanced cricket. A woodpecker on crack.
Did that help any at all?
Yeah, you're clear now.
Okay.
All right, let me pull up my questions here. Okay. Some of these are deep because some of the allegations were pretty heavy.
Well, yeah, I was listening to most of it. I was getting tires put on a car, but I was listening to most of it.
Okay. So the reason why I even went up in the first place is because Mama T had been calling me and asking about going on live with her and saying, telling some of the things that I know about, like with the van incident and stuff like that.
Right.
What I heard about and stuff. And I really didn't really want to because I just don't like being part of all the drama stuff. And I've already said it before, and put it out there. And I just feel like it's kind of pointless because it doesn't make a difference anyways,
They said it's clicking again. Hang on a second. All right, did that help?
Still doing it.
Every day. Let's see here.
Is it the fan on the computer?
No, fan ain't working on the computer. Let's see. Shouldn't be that. Well, anyway, let's see.
It stopped.
It did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hang on just a second. Okay.
All right. So yeah, when I saw that they were talking about that today, I'm like, well, Mama T's been asking me. She's up there with them. I'll come up and I will say my piece, But instead, it all just like the whole reason I went up there, I never really even got to say what I wanted to say. Instead, I was just questioned about why I'm here, and then a whole bunch of questions about you.
Yeah.
And I tried to answer the best that I could, but I don't know everything because, as you know, a lot of times when the whole live is going to be about the drama stuff and who said what about who and all of that, I won't even watch,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have asked you some things myself and you've told me, but some of these things that they said, I don't even know about,
Yeah.
But also I was going to go over with you like what others are saying as well and why maybe they're saying it. So my first question on it is, and please, Jimbo, don't think that by me asking these questions that I'm like trying to bash you in any way either, because I don't want to do that to anybody,
Yeah.
I just thought, well, since I was, asked these questions and other people are saying it and people seem to believe this stuff, then maybe you can clear some things up,
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm sure you've heard a lot lately is the whole, are you and Ernie working behind the scenes together?
No. I think that's a little bit like out of bounds, and like I think it takes super low intelligence to believe something like that. Like, Ernie's the reason why the state police were here last week, with his little recorded phone call with Duke and the things he said about me and my family and what goes on here and his accusations. No.
Well, what I know is that whenever I started seeing that, I know Mystery Lady, but I have to ask because it's like a lot of people are coming to me about that and saying,
yeah, it's the questions that were asked earlier today.
Yeah. And I mean, I've been asked too before I even went up on that panel. People have asked me.
Yeah.
But I know that whenever I started to kind of wake up to what was going on and doing my own research, I came to you and I asked you, you know, I told you what I had found out and I asked you what was going on, because and was I in danger was really what I came to you about.
Yeah.
Because, Ernie had been here at my house. He had met my children, things like that. And you told me at that time that you really didn't think I was in any danger, but he does have a history of scamming. He had been arrested for stealing money from people or, scamming them out of money. And, a lot of things that you said on your channel, which I didn't know at the time, but since then that you said to me at that time.
Yeah.
So I thought it was helpful, and that you were honest with me. It didn't come off as that you guys were buddy behind the scene, because why would you tell his person that's trying to help him grow, these things about him if you guys were working behind the scenes together?
Right. Yeah, it's just dumbfounding for people to say stuff like that. I mean, this guy's accused me of breaking the law over and over. And I mean, that's not saying, oh, he's scamming here, scamming there. Like, he's accusing me of putting stickers on stuff and changing prices and says I'm under investigation. I mean, damages my reputation. He's called the school system where I actually work, where Nicolina says I don't. And he had Lisa call, and and they all get mad when it comes back on them. Like, Lisa called, I got the little clip of her saying, "How's it feel not to have a coaching job anymore, AF?"
I will find you,
and I
will kill you.
Well, how does it feel, Lisa?
Yeah.
I played that little clip right there for her boss. How does it feel?
Yeah. So the second thing that is said by a lot of people too is that you have a goal, and along with Ernie, which is why they think, there's possibly working together. Well, outside of the fact, because you're a wrestler and a lot of those events are kind of staged and there's a storyline with it, it's entertainment. And then he claims, he's entertainment and it's all a movie. So that kind of gave people the idea. But then they also say that both of you guys create and instigate and start all of this drama, so you can take down the little channels, steal all of their subs to get more money.
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because, for one, I've never said that. Mama T keeps saying I said that. I said, Ernie, me and you need to take out all these little channels so we can get all the money. I never said that. Show me where I said that. And two, where do you think all those subs came from? Where do you think all of Mama T's subs came from? Liberator subs, where do they come from?
Well, at first, I think all of our subs, in this community pretty much came from Ernie in some sort of way, whether it was an Ernie supporter or an Ernie hater.
Exactly.
And then now, since a lot of people have, branched off and stuff, it's coming still from, pretty much the people who despised him.
Right. So how is he stealing subs, or how am I stealing subs?
I will look for you.
Like I've
I
had
will
6,000
find you.
subs
And I
for
will kill you.
what, 8 months, 7 months, right
Yeah.
there in that ballpark. Anyway, you know, it took us 6 weeks to get to 2,000 subs, something like that. And you know, here you got Liberator's channel's about a year old now, and it's got 900 subs. The one that just went down, Mama T, 900 some subs. Like, what do I need to steal their subs for? Most of them are subs here anyway.
Yeah.
And the ones that left, good riddance. Bye-bye. Yeah, that's stupid. And what money am I taking from them?
Well, that's kind of what I was gonna.
Monetize and you know, my channel earns money. What money am I taking from them? Mama T's $120 a day that she's stealing from people.
Well, I was going to ask that today if I would have had a chance. Like, at least I know when I'm here, except for when we collected for Ocean Lover through the game and
Yeah,
helped
that
E
money
Squared,
went directly to her.
right? And helped E Squared. You know, things like that we've did. Like I remember we helped, you know, Gypsy and Ken and stuff, but that was their things that they were selling.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen, but I could be wrong, when you just collected money and just was like, hey, I mean, there was a long time ago, you know, that everybody keeps bringing up when you was talking about Molly's phone being broken or one of the kids' phones being broken.
It was
But
Molly.
like in the last few months, like where have you just been like, hey, y'all, send me money? That I haven't seen that anyways.
Even with Molly's phone broken, I didn't take no donations for that. It wasn't donations. We did T-shirts.
Okay.
T-shirts. There, I didn't ask nobody to donate anything. We did chances for T-shirts, and that phone that replaced Molly's phone. Hang on just a second. Yes, Sarah. Okay, be careful. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye-bye. What was I saying? Oh, Molly's phone. Hang on there. Yes, Sarah. Yeah, that'd be great. All right. Love you. Bye. Molly's phone. That phone that and you know, we took in like $200 on that phone. So I put the rest of my money with it and bought her a used phone to replace her phone temporarily. She's got a new phone now. But that phone that we raised the money for, I gave it to one of my subs for a Christmas present for her son. I'm not going to tell who it is. It ain't, you know, ain't nobody's business. But, you know, so if that was a scam, I'm not the one who benefited from it. That's just stupidity. Like,
Yeah, which I mean, I've told Mama T before and I've told others before, I don't see there being anything wrong with people donating to people who have a channel, and if they're getting, you know, entertainment from it or an education from it, or they're just enjoying the time that they're spending, you know, because of that creator.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But of course, I'm not for people running scams and, you know, tricking and lying their subs into giving them money.
Right.
You know, what I've witnessed, at least when I'm here, is that usually when you're raising money for a cause or for someone, it's through games or through selling something.
Right. Thank you, Mystery Lady, for the $10 super chat, giving out of love. Thank you.
All right. So now this is something that they brought up to me today, and I'm like, huh? What? Are you currently a swinger, or have you been a swinger?
No and no. So everybody's in my business because Ernie said it was in my book, and it's not actually in my book. But yes, few years ago, several years ago, um, Thelma's bisexual, and you know, it was before we ever started going to church together, before she got saved, and so yeah, she picked up some girls at the MMA fights, usually ring card girls. You know, Ernie says they're hookers. No, they were beautiful, amazing ring card girls, and yeah, we did. We had a couple threesomes with some females, never a male, and we never switched. Couples like not swinging like that. I mean, if you want to call that a swinger, like Nicolina's the house mouse at the motorcycle clubs. She's been with every motorcycle guy there. I mean, she swings more than that.
Well, I don't know. I've really never watched Nicolina, and I don't know a whole lot about her. But
you ain't missing nothing.
Prissy Penny Pitcher has a question, but before we see what she has, I wanted to say that I did bring up, and I know a lot of people who aren't Christian or haven't, or don't believe the way that I believe, don't understand how I can forgive and forget something that somebody did in their life before they came to know the Lord, or gave their life over to the Lord. And then they expect that if at one point you did give your life over to the Lord and you repented for the way that you used to live and you're trying to do better, that you're still not going to fall at times, or you're not going to backslide at times. You're not going to be this perfect person, right? You're still a human.
Exactly.
You're a sinner, which is why you needed Jesus in the first place, right? It doesn't change. It doesn't stop you from being a sinner just because you give your life to the Lord. It just forgives you for your past sins and tries to correct you to be better and to grow as a person from then on out, right? So I tried to explain that to them, like when they brought up the 12 is 12 thing and all of that, like I've talked to you personally about the Lord. We went over things in the Bible and discussed it. You talked to me about getting back into church and trying to do better. And then, it was brought up, well, you said that you weren't even a Christian. And I said, yes, Jimbo did say that, but that's because you're claiming right now that you are backslidden, that you haven't really been going to church lately, and you've got yourself caught up into this drama stuff. And at times you get enraged, you get upset and you say things that you shouldn't say. Because you're not a perfect person, right? None of us are.
Right.
But I just wanted to put that out there for people who might have saw it today of where I was coming at whenever I said that. Like, I'm not making excuses for all the wrongs that you did. It's just that if Jesus has forgiven you for them and your slate's been wiped cleaned, then who am I to continue to judge you over that? Then the Lord wouldn't hear my prayers or forgive me for the things I asked for if I did that.
Right. Those two guys hanging on the cross beside Jesus, what were their sins?
A murderer and a thief.
Murderer and a thief. And they repented, didn't they?
What the thief did. And then the Lord said, today you'll be with me in paradise.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it doesn't take much for him to forgive you if you reach out to him and you ask him and you sincerely mean it. Repentance is really being sorry for the things that you did in your life that aren't right and trying to not repeat the same mistakes and be better. It doesn't mean you're going to be a perfect person afterwards, and it's a continual growth and it's a daily battle and struggle to be the best that you can be. And instead, I got accused of trying to be like self-righteous or something.
Let me have a rebuttal question, like to the whole swinger threesome thing. Look, what does that have to do with my YouTube channel?
Well, it doesn't, but a lot of the things that are said about people has nothing to do with their YouTube channels, really. It's just like digging up dirt to give someone a bad name because they're mad at you or they don't like you. And I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about all of them. Like, everybody does it, which is another thing that I was saying on there today. It's like, how can we how can we hurt somebody because they're doing something we don't like, or we're not their friends, or they're friends with people we don't like, it's just an ongoing thing. Like they just want to hit people hard and name call, and I'm not for that.
Yeah.
And I say, go in real life, there's no sense in it. Bringing people's families and kids into it, there's no sense in it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what Prissy Penny Pitcher.
What was your question, Prissy?
I don't want to ignore her. Did she already ask it? Maybe.
Let me look up and see. Let me scroll back.
Oh, I was listening to your live. What am I hearing in the background? Something about killing? Is that on your phone?
Oh, yeah, that was my ringtone is from the movie Taken. When Thelma texts me, it says, "I will find you. I will kill you," or something like that. You know, I can't remember exactly what it is, but yeah, that's what it says. It's my text tone from Thelma. I thought it was funny, so it's been her text tone for a while.
Right, Judith Bay. I mean, who's anybody to say that someone else isn't Christian? Like we don't understand what everybody's walk is with God and what their path is in life, and we're not supposed to judge one another in that sort of way. We can correct, like if we see our fellow brother or sister in Christ that doing wrong, we can say, I don't like how you're handling this, or you really need to change your, the Lord says in the Bible not to do this and blah, blah, blah. And Jimbo, how many times have I told you, behind the scenes, no, I don't come into your chat in front of everybody and say, Jimbo, you're really ticking me off with your behavior right now. I'm not your mom,
Yeah.
but behind the scenes, I have said, was there really any sense in that? Did you really have to go that far or something like that? And I do it out of love, because I care more about your spiritual walk than I do anything else.
Yeah. I know you do, and that's why I appreciate you so much. Because it's not about YouTube at all.
And I feel the same way about all of them too. And that is Ma and Pa and Mama T and even Nicolina and Rap and Ernie and all of them. It's just that they're not accepting of it, and you are.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll move on because I don't want to take up your whole night here. Another thing that I was asked repeatedly, do you think it's okay for a 17-year-old to marry a 12-year-old?
No.
And would you let your youngest daughter marry a 17-year-old?
No, I wouldn't let my youngest daughter date a 17-year-old. Not at all.
I heard you say that before. I just had to bring it up again because, I was asked this repeatedly, and I know you've told me personally, and I've heard you say it on here. But Mama T brought up, well, he did say one time he'd do it all over again.
I didn't say that.
And I know you did say something to the extent of you were in love and you were young.
Right. You can't change how you feel.
Right.
Like I was in love with Michelle.
But now you're not saying that now as a grown adult, if you could turn back time and do it again, you would, knowing what you know now.
Right. No, I wouldn't do it. I would never have went on a date with her ever.
Right.
Even when she drove to my house.
Right.
But all these accusations and things, and like.
Well, I mean, everybody takes things people say out of context. People twist things that are said. People have their own perspective on what things that are said. It doesn't always mean it's correct,
Yeah.
But I don't, get angry at people for their opinions, and you're not going to change somebody's opinion when their mind is made up. But I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, I just think if you're going to quote somebody and say they're saying something, you need to tell the truth about it. You need to say exactly what they said, verbatim, or don't quote them.
Well, that's why those little clip channels are the most effective, I think, of all the channels. Like if you're going to be involved in the drama of everything, those
Some
clips.
of them are. I mean, you can clip something. Like I've got clips that I don't even use, where I've clipped stuff, and it sounds awful because you don't let them finish. You clip
Yeah.
it when they say the bad thing, and then you don't let them finish up. So yeah, some of them.
Yeah. Well, if it's done properly, not just taking half of what somebody said and not putting it the full thing up there.
Yeah. And my wife was not a foster child. I saw that in the chat the other night. Somebody said that she was not a foster child. She was adopted by a family member. I believe it was her aunt, but she was adopted by a family member. And because her mother got really, really sick, and she, sorry, looking at the chat, but she had the same family. Like she wasn't with a foster family. She was with the same family member. She just wasn't living with her mother anymore. She was living with whoever adopted her aunt or her mom's cousin or something. But yeah, she was still in the same. She was not a foster child that foster parents were looking to get rid of. I'm pretty sure a foster parent can't sign for a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old or a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old to get married. Pretty sure. Now, an adopted parent, maybe, but a foster parent couldn't do that. I don't think.
I don't know. Couponing with Donna said that their chat was saying bad things about me today. And I mean, I expected it, and
Look at the heater right quick. Go ahead. Keep talking. I can hear you.
I even said on there, like I felt like they wanted me to just bash Jimbo, and just put it out there that he is this horrible, bad person. And because I wouldn't, then everybody wanted to gang up on me. But guess what? I'm not going to bash Jimbo. I'm not going to bash Ernie. I'm not going to bash Mama T. I'm not going to bash Nick and Rap and BDAC or whoever. I don't do the bashing thing because it scares me to let myself get to the place of being so angry that I become ugly and start talking a bunch of smack about people that I don't even know if even it's true. Like a lot of the claims that are being made about me, they're completely false. But they're being thrown at me to make other people see me as shady or hate on me or come at me and attack me. It's all done on purpose. I'm not going to be that type of person and do that to somebody else because I fear God. And those are his children as well. Let him deal with them and chasten them and handle them. It's not my job to do it. So I'm not going to get caught up and do that to anyone and then it fall back on me, where God has to come and handle me because I'm out of line. It's not going to happen. So because I wouldn't lash out about Jimbo,
Oh, that's what they were prodding for. They wanted it so bad.
right, because that's not even what I went up there for in the beginning. I went up there because Mama T had asked me to come live and talk about what I knew about the van situation and things like that, like what I heard, what I witnessed, which I've already put out there before. And that's all I wanted to do. But it immediately got turned around to why I'm over here. And I thought about it afterwards more because I really couldn't get many words in edgewise. But I thought about it and I'm like, I did try to start saying it, but I wasn't allowed to finish. And what I was trying them to understand is I feel like a lot of people in this community feel the same way, is you're going to go to this place where you're not bashed, where you're not attacked, where you feel welcome. If I was to try to go over to Ernie's channel, well, a lot of the Tigers don't like me because they, think I abandoned Ernie and that I turned on Ernie, right? So immediately I've got that. And then, of course, everybody knows Tina's never liked me, and she's there. So she gets mad at me and, starts on me. If I go over to Mama T's and stuff now, well, all of the people who hated Ernie are now in her chat. And I was a friend of Ernie, so I started to get attacked because of that. If I go anywhere, like if there's not very many channels where I can go and feel welcomed by the people into the chat and by the creator. And that was proven today when I went to try to have an adult conversation with the Libs and got attacked.
Yeah.
And kicked off because they didn't like whatever I had to say. And that was my opinion. Like, I could be completely wrong, but it is my opinion that people do the drama lives instead of talking about rescuing children, instead of talking about cases and all these things, being victims advocates, all these things that people claim that their channel is about. It's an hour, 2 hours of somebody said this about me, somebody said that about me, so we're going to bash them. And it's nonstop every day, and it brings in the views. A lot of people love it. They love the drama.
Yeah. And it's like my liberator today accusing me while you're up there. Do you approve of Jimbo sexually harassing me and making a fake email? I'm going to tell you right now, that email's real. She said she was going to show her emails and show that it wasn't, and she never has. That email's real, and if you want to really get technical about it, read that email. I think maybe I got sexually harassed. I mean, read it.
Well, that was one of the questions that I did have on here.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Was why the commercial and the poking fun at Ma Liberator?
The commercial was made by a friend of the stand. I thought it was hilarious. And it doesn't say anything about Ma Liberator in the commercial, period. Doesn't mention her, doesn't show her. She's not mentioned at all.
But everybody knows that it's about her, though.
Yeah,
and at this point, I understand that there was an email sent and they attack you every single day, but she seems to be really upset by it, and she feels harassed by it.
Well, the reason why she feels upset about it is because she sent a married man that, and her husband got mad over it.
Yeah, but it
should feel upset over it,
and it's humiliating. What was Fluffy said to me? I don't want to ignore them when they say something. They said Jimbo and Ernie sent me over to them, which is bullcrap. No, actually, I haven't spoke to Ernie in a couple of months, if not longer. I went over there because I've been talking with Mama T. And like I said, she had been asking me to come up and say what I know. Because she's going through a difficult time with being attacked by Ernie's Tiger people.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went up. And Mama T knew that's why. So it had nothing to do with Jimbo, and it had nothing to do with Ernie for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mama T,
good night, Chris.
You were sent information on Mama T.
I was.
And it floored you,
You know it did.
Yes. Exactly. So why not call Mama T up and go over the information before bringing it to YouTube?
I don't remember why I said it on YouTube first. I had a live stream and it wasn't planned for me to say that. I can't remember. Something triggered me. Something she said or did triggered me. And I mean, it is what it is. Like, Mama T and I are not friends. We never have been friends. Like, she makes a lot of accusations, like saying that I was involved in a phone call with you and Glamorous about Jimmy, and that phone call never took place. I'm telling you right now, you know it didn't.
Right, because and I tried to explain that some today. It all had to do, long story short, I was going to do an auction for Jimmy. Glam Life called me and told me some stuff, so I didn't do the auction. And then Mama T was asking me why not. She was going to do it on her channel and help Jimmy instead, if I didn't want to do it. And so I called Kat back and I asked her if I should let Mama T know why. And she said, yes, go ahead. So I then caught a hold of Mama T and I told her why. And then she was like, oh my gosh, okay, that all makes sense now.
And then she started sending me messages. Mama T did. I've got them. I played them. I got a video on them.
Right. Because when she was finding things and stuff, and we were like trying to look into things, I let you know too. Then that's when you came in on it.
Yeah.
Well, as far as like, you were just sent information and told what people were thinking and what things had been said.
Right. And you know, I never said anything about outing Jimmy or being mean to Jimmy on YouTube publicly. I just haven't. And for them to say that, you know, that's just bull.
Oh, I know, Fluffy. I know. I'm just trying to make sure that I go over what you guys are asking me or telling me.
You're the best daddy ever.
Yes, and Alicia told her it didn't. And when Alicia left, T43 continued to say Alicia was lying.
Yeah,
she said that I was lying?
Yes, she sure did. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how can people trust her? All she does is throw everybody else under the bus and try to make them out to be a liar. She's the only honest person on YouTube. Like, that don't make no sense. Nothing she says makes any sense.
Gypsy said Lost Souls talked about Sammy and Jimmy, right, Alicia? I know that Lost Souls talked about Sandy. I don't know that she talked about Jimmy that much. Maybe she did. I don't really remember, but I know she definitely was the one that was all over the Sandy situation. She also says that you and her haven't been talking on the phone. I heard her say on there that yes, she had been talking to me and that she even said it on her channel. She just didn't say my name. So I don't know if she denied talking to me or not, because when I was on there, that's what she told somebody in the chat, was that she had been talking to me and she had even said it on her channel, but she just didn't mention my name.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you dox a woman on your live the other night? Somebody called Princess Ice.
No. Princess Ice used to have the YouTube handle Martha Landers. She used to be friendly with this channel. She used to support this channel. Send me information about Ernie. She told me in Facebook messages that she was not named Martha Landers. And if you look back at some of the old comments on videos of mine where they were supporting me, it doesn't say Martha Landers anymore. It says Princess Ice. It's not hard to figure out. That's not doxing somebody. When you switch YouTube handles, if you change your YouTube channel tomorrow to Fred Flintstone, I'm going to say Fred Flintstone was Alicia Turner yesterday.
Okay, so you didn't say
YouTube handle's not doxing.
You didn't say what her real name was or her location was then.
I said she lives in Kentucky.
Okay, because I was told that you said her real name and that you said that she lives in Harlan.
She doesn't live in Harlan. So no, I wouldn't have said that.
Okay, because I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Never lived in Harlan. She told me that.
A little fired up because I'm like, why in the world is Jimbo doxing a woman? You know, who didn't they say she lived all by herself or something like that?
I have no idea. I have no idea. She told me that there was a cop from Harlan that harassed her and, thought he was some hot stuff or something, that he wanted her, I guess. I don't know. I mean, look the way she acts now and the stuff she says, the vile, disgusting stuff she says. Like, I don't have any sympathy feelings for her at all.
What did get me today, though, is that out of all of the things that they said about you, the one thing that did kind of like shock me was that, them saying that you doxed this woman and put her real name out and her location out. And but then
she's talked about her location plenty of times. Like, everybody in their chat knew it. They were all talking about it when it was said.
But then as soon as I was kicked off, I was told that I didn't see it for myself because I got a phone call like right after that happened. But I was told that my name was put out there. My information was put out there. Yeah. And I'm like, wait a second. I was just attacked because I'm in your chat and stuff and you dox this woman. But now the same people, the same crowd is doxing me. And I'm a mother. I have children in my house, So why it's kind of hypocritical, Yeah. All right. So do you think it's fair to stream others, but strike them whenever they stream you? That was another thing that was asked. They said that you strike their channel 3 different times for streaming you, but then turned around and streamed Mama T the other night.
I struck them 5 times. And streaming me and like playing me, playing my content and just sitting there and just playing it. No commentary, not adding to it, not taking from it, not giving an opinion on it. That's different. That don't fall under fair use. And YouTube agreed with me. That's why they took the videos down and took their channel. Like, YouTube didn't just say, oh, well, this guy's claimed this, let's take it down. No, they looked at it. They agreed with me. They took their channel down.
Oh, I could be wrong, but I thought that they said that, and I mean, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought they said that they were proven right because they won those strikes.
No, they ain't won nothing. Where's their channel at then? They're still the regulators and not the liberators.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, they filed a counterclaim and they gave Raps fake info. So, of course, the info in New York City will never be able to be served for a federal lawsuit. So, they've used that to get around everything. So they can do whatever they want. When you file a strike on them, they counter the claim and give you a fake address, and it's a loophole in YouTube.
No, Lost Souls was never a tiger. To answer that other question. Okay, so the part about them getting striked for streaming, but then you turned around and streamed Mama T.
Mm-hmm. Mama T was streaming me, so I streamed her streaming me.
And how does that work in the whole copy strike thing?
You tell me. She's playing my content, and I'm playing it too. So, am I streaming her? Or am I streaming me?
I have no idea how that would even work.
Also, I didn't show her video. She showed my video.
Mama T was streaming him first.
Yep.
And then, okay. And then, so you streamed her streaming you.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, see, I was not told that. That information was left out.
Of course it was. They stream me every day. Probably streaming us right now.
Okay. Well, that answers that one then. Now this is something that I was asked, and whenever I came to you about Ernie, which I told Ernie that I came to you and asked questions. He knew that I did. But you told me about lying, mental illness, scamming, his history, things that, you know, you kind of painted a picture to me, which came off to me at the time as, man, this guy's been through a lot, and this is the way that he's having to, you know, the way that he survives. And it might not be the best choice of a way to live, but it's all he knows to do. And that's why he does what he does.
Mhm.
And, you know, because you weren't hateful. You weren't like, stay away from him, he's a horrible dude. You know, you just told me and sent me proof of things that he's done, right?
I think I actually told you that you wasn't in any physical danger.
Yeah, you did.
Harm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one thing you never told me at that time was that you thought he was a P word.
I've never said I thought he was a P word.
But today I was asked and told that you suspect that he is the P word.
I don't think Ernie's a pedo.
And so they wondered why you let him come and stay around your kids if you felt that way.
I don't feel that way. I don't think Ernie's a pedo. I think he's bisexual and he's hid it for a long time. But, I mean, what's the difference between a bisexual and, you know, heterosexual? As long as they're not hitting on you or hitting on your kids or whatever, what's the difference? He's bisexual. Okay.
And I know that there was the recent incident, one of the last times that he stayed there, with that, I think his name was Steven or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And he was 18, right?
Barely
18.
Mm-hmm.
But that at that time was the first time you ever saw Ernie have that type of behavior?
Yes.
Okay. So then next would be, before I go on to the next one, I was asked also about the cameras and all that being all over the house and told that was weird. But I responded with, you know, I called and had, you know, the company come out to my house to install cameras and alarm system and all of that kind of stuff. And there's cameras in my house as well as outside of my house.
Yeah.
You know, no, they're not in any bedroom.
Yeah, I like to talk about the cameras.
Okay.
Now, I've said I've got cameras everywhere. You know, I was getting threats of people saying they were going to come to my house and do harm to me and my family. So I said I've got cameras everywhere. You can't go anywhere on my property without being seen. I've got one camera on the side of the house that points out to the road and it shows the road coming up. I've got one camera in the front of the house that shows all the vehicles and the front door. And I've got one camera right here that it shows the kitchen and the living room. And I've got one camera in the master bedroom showing my door in case anybody was to come in there and try to steal something. That's the gist of it. I don't have cameras everywhere. I don't have cameras in bathrooms. I don't have cameras in the kids' bedrooms. That's horse shit.
Yeah, my cameras, they set up towards my door, my back glass door, and my garage door. That's how they set them up in my house. And there has been several times where they have come in handy.
A Batman thing and a wand.
We wondered how one of our kittens kept getting out the house.
Oh my gosh. I have enough money for this weekend.
How were they getting out?
The neighbors' kids were sneaking in through my garage and getting them out the house, and we caught it.
Cameras worked.
Yeah.
Cameras worked. And see that's when this cop came here the other day, he saw how many cameras I've got. He saw on my Google Nest account how many cameras are registered. Like, you know, and that was a surprise visit. So I didn't have time to delete anything or, you know, hide anything. So it's just thank you, Nicolina, for proving everything I've said is correct.
Blue on Black is going to start an OnlyFans, I think.
Really?
Yeah. By the comment, it looks like he's getting ready to start an OnlyFans.
Oh, no, Blue on Black.
Okay, so then I only got a few more left now. You told a story about Ernie shoving a girl into a trunk. I think it was a friend of Molly's. If you believe that he was guilty of doing something like that, then also why would you let him continue being around the kids?
Well, Mama T and Liberators have both been up Ernie's rear hole long enough that surely they've heard the entire story by now. I've told it a dozen times. My daughter Sarah and two of her friends were in the car with Ernie. My daughter and Ernie went to pick the two friends up. They were coming to stay all night with Sarah. Well, Ernie asked my daughter and her friend to get in the trunk. She said he was kidding. They didn't get in the trunk. She refused to. She said, I'm not getting in the trunk. I'm riding in the front seat. This is my daddy's car. And she didn't tell me about that until she heard me and Ernie feuding anyway, because she knew I would have heard him. And she explained to me that she really thought he was kidding. So I was mad about it, especially when I was super mad at him. But still now I'm mad at him. Like I like to beat him black and blue. But I don't think he actually wanted anyone to get in the trunk. I think he was kidding around.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that one I do feel like has been explained time and time again, but it's still something it's brought up a lot. So another thing so you've been friends with Ernie for over 20 years and you know that he did scamming. You've said before that he stole from you, that you caught him in many lies. He tried to get you arrested. So throughout the years, him doing this to you over and over again, why did you always let him come back?
Because he's like one of the kids, I mean, James stole from me, I would forgive him. And I forgive people more than I maybe should. Maybe I shouldn't. Leslie B wouldn't. She wouldn't. She would. Fool her once and you're out. But maybe I'm a sucker. I don't know. I did feel sorry for him, and I didn't want to see him get hurt. Like they spent a lot of time around the family. Kind of part of the family. He's pitiful, really. So yeah, I forgave him every time.
And I've seen on these YouTube streets, I've seen people get very upset with him and angry at him about something, and then go on full attack on him, and then in time come back to him again and be friends again, and then get mad again and leave. Like,
Look at Nicolina. Nicolina just did it.
Right. They were all trying to forgive him and start over, work things out, make peace or something like that. After knowing everything that he's been capable of and all the things that he's done in this past year.
You asked me a question?
No, I was just going along with what you said, that, I mean, that is true. So I don't know why you're blamed for doing that and helping him time and time again, when I've seen a lot of them do that.
Right.
Hi, Constant Sue. No, you're not blocked.
I wouldn't block you, Constant Sue. What did I block you for?
Next is, did you go on Nicolina's live and scream at her?
The day that Ernie, said he would never do that to my family, blah, 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 we did the fist bump.
Mm-hmm.
She immediately went live and went nuts, screaming, cussing, Nicolina stuff. And she had this guy, that Mr. Gumby guy or whatever, he was on there screaming, acting ignorant too. So oppositional effect told me to call her and straighten it out. So I tried to call her. She wouldn't answer the phone. So I went on her live stream, and then she started screaming, at me, cussing at me, and said she couldn't hear me. So I was on my phone. I took the phone up to my mouth, and I let her have it. I mean, she's going to sit and scream and cuss at me? Yeah, I let her have it. I sure did scream at her. I'd do it again.
So she was screaming and cussing at you, and then you responded back with the same type of energy.
Absolutely.
Is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Did you feel slimy afterwards?
Absolutely. Yeah, I always feel bad after an ignorant exchange between adults. Like, what is the point in it?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like for a man, it's really hard when you're triggered to keep yourself calm and not, let it get to you. Like, I feel like women can do that a lot easier than men can.
Yeah.
And everybody might not agree with me, and it might be sexist for me to say that, but I just think it's true, at least in my experience, especially Southern men in our generation. Light Within, what do you say to people who say you both are really pals in this whole feud of spake? We went over that. That was like one of the first questions that I asked. Light Within. Okay. Oh, okay. I was asked this question of why, but I was asked this, of course, you. Why go after Mama T with the situation that she's in, but yet support Jimmy?
Do what now?
Why go after Mama T with the situation that she is in, but support Jimmy? I gave my answer to the fact of Jimmy being very close to being elderly, him not having.
How about the fact that Jimmy's
friends.
Legally disabled?
Yeah, and he's about to lose his legs,
And he still, as he calls it, hustles. He gets out and takes people to, appointments. Yeah, and earns money. He still gets out and tries to do things for himself. He does have his shortcomings, and he knows it, and he admits it. And but she doesn't admit anything. It's not her fault. It's my fault. Everything wrong with her is my fault, or Butch's fault, or somebody else's fault. Nothing's her fault. And the reason why, and I'm not coming at her over her situation. That's not the reason why there was anything. No, you're not blocked, Mama Bear. That's not the reason why I said anything to her to begin with. I told you why I said something to begin with. Why does she think a victim of SA or DV, especially now that she's saying that she's DV victim, why should someone in that situation trust her? Like, she don't need to be playing that victim's advocate. And she wants to talk about, money. And the money that she also said all that money was paid back. The money that was paid back to me was money that I personally loaned her, not the one out of the fund. No.
So she didn't have to pay back the money that she borrowed from the fund. She just had to pay back the money you personally gave her.
Right. Okay. Right. You've seen the list on the fund. Every time it updates, you see it. Like when there's money taken out, it says what it's for. And it don't say it's coming back. When there's money promised, I put that in there. You seen that? Right. Did I ever put in there that there was money coming back from Mama T?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't looked.
I haven't.
As far as the not being an advocate because you're being abused thing, I was.
Do you want to mute that while I ask you a question?
Oh.
Yeah, hang on a second. Not just an advocate, but a safe space. Like how can she pretend to be a safe space? Hang on a second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Yeah. Sometimes what I was saying though is sometimes when you have been abused and you live through domestic violence or the R word or the M word or anything like that, because you have experience in it, you're the best to help other people who's going through it because you have the empathy and you understand what they're feeling at the time and what they're going through and how scary it is to get out of that situation.
Okay. Yeah, but let's say I'm going through that situation. Let's say Thelma's beating me to death. Okay. So I'm gonna call Mama T. Mama T, can I come on your panel and talk? And while I'm talking to Mama T, here comes Butch and slaps her inside the head. I don't say he did do that, but if she's a victim and he's beating on her, that's totally possible, right? So how's that gonna make me feel? Oh, is that gonna trigger me? Is that gonna cause me to be more scared? She shouldn't be doing that. She's not going to work at an office. She's right there at home with the person she says is now, after Nicolina said it, is now abusing her.
So she said that she's currently being abused?
Yes. By Butch.
Have
you not seen the exchanges with her and Audrey Miller?
I don't think so.
Go to Audrey's community page and read what Audrey said and then what Mama T says back to her.
If this is true, that she is currently being abused by her man, then I really do think it's in everybody's best interest to step back on any bashing towards her. Because
I don't believe she is.
Well, I don't know that she is. And I talked to her.
That's what Audrey said. Audrey's been talking to her for 2 years. Video chat every day. And has never seen anything to give her any inclination of it.
Right, Leslie B. Verbally, I would say yes. Well,
we all heard him tell her that day that all she does is sit on her ass and on YouTube all day and won't get up and lift a finger. We all heard that.
But that's concerning if she's being hit on right now. And when you're going through a really bad situation, like you've lost your place and you're homeless and you're trying to take care of the dogs and stuff, and living in and out of a hotel room that you have to switch all the time or a car or whatever, that's a very stressful situation. And if there's going to be abuse in a relationship, that would be the time it would happen, but I just haven't heard of it from her that's going on.
Exactly.
But if it is, oh my goodness, then yeah, I would say that's
she needs to lay down the YouTube, quit screaming at everybody 24 hours a day and get out of that situation. Right now is a perfect time to get out of it. She don't have anybody living with her. She's free as a bird, living on the street or living in a hotel. Go get out of that situation. Right now. That's the best time.
Yeah, it's scary, but I was in that situation with my first husband and I had enough. I took my kids, got into my little car, took off out of there, drove to a whole nother state, and I had to start all over again. And it's definitely terrifying because I was really young, doing all that. And I didn't have much money. But nowadays, there's so many women's shelters and stuff that you can go to if you have any proof, that it's happening to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And like her being homeless, it would be much easier for her to get shelter right now if she went in and said, "Hey, I'm being abused and I'm homeless." It would be much easier for her to get help.
Yeah,
Like,
I can't.
now's the time. Now's the time.
I
But
can't stand
she's,
to hear that any woman's being abused. I mean that.
I just don't believe it. I mean, if I thought it were true, and I would really feel bad for her. I feel bad for her anyway.
Yeah, of
I
course.
do feel bad for her. I mean, I really do. She just can't keep my name out of her mouth. You saw it today. That's all they talked about. You went on panel and talked about Ernie, and all they wanted to talk about was me the whole time.
Yeah.
Turn on their channel. It's all me. Every time.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna finish up here so you can have your channel here. Oh, they said that you have a hate or a fear for women.
I'm glad you asked that. When we had the event for E Squared and Ocean Loader down here in Corbin, you were there, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did I hang out with your husband and Chaotic's husband and Leslie B's boyfriend?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. No. My
Who did
husband,
I hang out with?
the guys, they all hung out back, and you hung out with me and E Squared more than anybody.
Yeah.
And
The
Thelma.
girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I'm so afraid of women or hate women so bad, why would I do that? Like, I'm in a group chat with 4 girls right now, and we talk all day from the time I get up to the time I fall asleep at night. You know, my best friends are girls. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard anybody say.
Well, that's because you're a little feminine.
Don't make me get mad.
I tease you about that all the time. You like chick flicks and love ballads.
I do like
Okay, so 2 more. What gain comes from to have to defend yourself every day and continuing on with the YouTube drama instead of just being like, you know what, say what you want about me, I'm moving on.
I've done that. And I thought, it'll stop. It never stops. Like, you can either be the doormat for somebody or you can stand up for yourself. And I'm not going to be a doormat for somebody. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I know at one point in time, when was it, like September or something like that, I personally asked you to just stop with it all, and see if how long that you can go before they might start to realize, okay, Jimbo's not talking about any of us anymore. He's doing his own thing. Let's move on to something different. And it lasted 5 days. And 5 days, you said nothing. And it kept coming and it kept coming. And then it got revved up. And then the kids got brought into it. And that's when you finally lost it. I do remember that. You tried to call like a truce thing. And then you went like 5 days, without saying anything about anybody.
Yeah. And speaking of truces, way back when this first started between Mama T and me, she went on there and said, all this stuff about, I just want peace. I just want peace. So I was like, okay, I'll just forget it and we'll go our separate ways. And I'll invite her and do the olive branch. And I even named the live olive branch, something like that. And she wanted no part of it. She sent me a derogatory, demeaning message and then went live bragging about declining my invitation, rubbing it in my face. So that was her saying, game on.
Yeah, well, I had told Mama T personally on the phone that you were trying to stop it all, and do games and do the music trivia thing and the movie trivia thing and everything, and see if people would leave you alone,
Yeah.
And you pretty much just wanted to prove to me, that's what it was all about, is you really were wanting to prove to me that you can't try to just stop and move on. It won't be allowed, you know. And I kept telling you, no, Jimbo, I'm telling you, if you just ignore it all and do your own thing, people will move on. It's boring for them when you're not fighting back. But, you know, it didn't stop.
Yeah. It don't stop. It never does. And I thought maybe you was right. Maybe it would ease up, but it just got worse and worse. And then they started going next level on stuff. And they're still trying. Oh, we're going to take his channel. We're going to take his channel. Why? What do you want my channel for? Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. I guarantee you I ain't going to say, if I don't hear my name, I guarantee you I ain't going to say nothing about them. Bet.
And it was also, you know, you weren't watching anybody's channels at the time because you were trying to not get triggered by anything, but people were sending you stuff and telling you what was going on.
Yeah.
And
at one point, I even asked people to stop sending me stuff.
Yeah, you did. I remember that. But I was doing it more for the sake of the community, which I told you, because people were feeling torn. They were, you know, which we knew this whenever, you know, things broke up between you and Ernie again. You know, we already knew that was going to cause a divide. And then after that, it's been this breakup over here and this breakup over here. And everybody kind of broke up and went, and it continues to keep happening. So as far as the people who like watch these creators, everybody is herded into a different spot all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And people just want to find a place that they can go and chat with others about topics that are important to them without being attacked.
Yeah.
Or, you know, get a laugh or have fun, you know, or tell what's going on in your life and have people pray for you or something like that. And it's getting impossible to do that anymore.
Yeah.
The last question that was brought up was, when Thelma was in jail, why didn't you just come out and tell everyone what happened?
Because they'd already doxed my address and my previous address. And if I said, hey, Thelma's in jail, everybody, then they're going to go look it up like they did a weekend and put my address up there right away. Oh, Jimbo, you dox people. Oh, really? Really? Whose address have I put up there?
And there was I said this, but there was possibly also the fact that, you know, you knew that Thelma would just start getting attacked for it, you know.
She did. They tried to get her in trouble in jail. Nicolina called the jail and said Thelma was threatening people from a tablet in jail.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And of course the new names that came from it and stuff like that, you know, and the shaming and stuff. Take a bad situation, make it worse. That's, you know, another reason why I figured that you wanted to stay silent on it. But at any time, did you collect money from your subs with a false story instead of saying what really happened to Thelma?
No. That was around the time when you all decided to do the auction.
And I didn't know at the time when
you didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't ask you to do the auction either. Like, you guys could see I was depressed and wasn't doing good, and you guys decided to do that. I mean, you know, I didn't have no part in that.
No, one of your subs, and I'm not going to name the person, of course, but one of your subs came to me privately and said, Jimbo's really down, and I don't know what's really going on, but I know they're struggling financially right now. Is there anything that you can do to help? So I jumped on it. I said, sure. And I came up with an auction idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And they said, Jimbo raised enough money for her bail. No, I didn't. Her bail was $5,000. I didn't even get $1,000. Like,
no, I don't even think half of that.
No, I mean, that's just crazy. And, you know, it's so crazy. If I had $5,000, she wouldn't have been in jail. And people say, oh, he's a horrible man. He left his wife in jail. what do you want me to do? Go break her out? Like dynamite the jail? Like, I did what I could do. I stay here and take care of my kids. Even though I don't lift a finger around here, I've only done laundry once in my life. We went 2 weeks without Thelma here, and I ran the show. Molly and Sarah cooked, and but they make it sound, they twist it and turn it every which way they want to try to make me look bad. And what's the reasoning? Why do they want to make me look bad?
I don't know, but I would assume it's because of the belief that they all think that you and Ernie are working together.
Yeah, I don't know how to refute that other than to say, like, the truth. I mean, it's just foolish for people to think that. Foolish.
Because from like my perspective on things, when I first came in, you and Ernie were at odds with each other. But talking to Ernie about you, he would talk to you. He would say things like, yeah, he's my friend. I've known him for a long time, but we don't always get along. And at times he stabs me in the back and he tries to ruin me. Now that's Ernie's side of things.
Right.
So I was like, whoa, well, doesn't sound like somebody that you need to be friends with, Ernie. I even said that on his live at one point in time.
Yeah.
Because, I never had watched your channel or spoke to you or anything at that time. So I was like, if this person's repeatedly hurting you all the time, then, you don't need to be friends with them. And it was kind of the same answer, but it's kind of like family. I've known him for such a long time. So I was just like, okay, but then whenever I started figuring things out and I came to you and I asked your side of things and, if I should be worried about this guy, and you told me your side of things, I started to kind of see more of this, on and off again type friendship thing where, you had this sympathy for this guy who makes a lot of mistakes. And every time he does, and you worry about him because of the mental health side of things, and you don't want to see him have a highway incident or, hurt himself or hurt somebody else in the process of those things. And you kind of try to pull him back and save him some, right?
Yep.
So then I started coming into, your chat. And at that time, everybody loved Jimbo, like a lot of these people who are hating on you now, they were all for you at that time, even through things that were being outed that are now being used against you. They were still supporting you. But then you and Ernie tried to work things out, and so half of them dropped off during that time because they were mad after the fist bump incident. And then you and Ernie started fighting again, and then another half dropped off, And so I don't know. I feel like I just see so much like hypocrisy all the time, and it's like cult mentality. You either
It is
follow
cult
us,
mentality.
like, it's like, if you even follow us, and stand what we stand and fight with us, or we're going to come after you and attack you. And that's so not fair. And I thought that everybody came together in this community for like, anti-bullying, not harassing other people, helping.
Hang on just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Heaven's baby, go to bed then. You don't have to stay. Go ahead and go to bed. You can catch a replay. I don't dirty delete. Good night. Okay, go ahead, Alicia.
Okay. So it really just kind of floored me when everybody started like attacking and bullying each other, because I thought that's exactly the opposite of what we are all here for, But during all of that time, met a lot of people that I really like, heard some amazing stories from people, found a lot of survivors,
Oh, I've met some amazing people. on
Yeah.
YouTube.
So why do you want to walk away and give that up? Because everybody's fighting with each other. Like, your fight's not my fight. Ernie's fights aren't my fights. So it's not fair to us, but we all get dragged in on it.
Yeah.
And get
Well, they
attacked.
shouldn't be dragged in on it, and that's not fair to people, and it don't happen here. I don't. The only thing I say is, don't take part in them trashing me, and if that's all they're doing, I ask you to step out. Like, because if you're over there chatting along with it, and they're doing nothing but talking about me and my family, then you're taking part in it. But if they're having a normal live stream, and it ain't about bashing me. Now I ain't saying that somebody says something here or there. I mean, that's going to happen. Of course, people don't like people, but these total bash sessions, why take part in that? Why be there? And if you want to do that, then I don't really need you here, because it's just.
Yeah.
But I'm not making anybody choose. If you choose that, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, because I was told that I'm guilty by association, even though I don't take part in any of the bashing. I enjoy when we play the games, when we do the trivia, or when somebody in our chat is in need and we all come together to help that person out, things like that. And I enjoyed that on other people's channels as well.
Yeah.
But when
People
all of
say
the
you cheated trivia, so it shows
when
you.
yeah, when the soap opera stuff all starts to happen again, as good as people in the chat, I'm out.
Yeah. Chat.
Guilty by association to me is when you go into somebody else's chat and then you sit there and bash along with them, and then you go into that person's chat and try to be their best friend. That two-facing stuff.
Yeah. Oh, but listen, they try. Look at what they've done to Sarah Smiles. Several channels have tried and tried and tried to just drag her into a fight. She's not taking part in any fights. She goes in people's chats. She has friends in other people's chats. She enjoys it. Why hate on her for it? I don't. I think Sarah's a great person. And you don't see her talking bad about anybody. She keeps those opinions inside. If she's got a negative opinion about me, I've never heard it. If she's got a negative opinion about liberators, I've never heard it. I've never heard her say anything bad about anybody on YouTube. Never.
It's that whole, you're forced to pick a side or you're hated. That's just the way it is. Like he just said, they won't allow you to go both places, even when you don't bash. No, that's the thing. It's like you become where you're just not welcomed anywhere. So people are going to choose to go where they do feel welcomed, and then they get mad that you're going there. Well,
Love you, lady.
Some people are free thinkers and can like people in other channels, as it should be. Segregation is shit, and I'm going where I like, liking who I like. Right, Sarah? Exactly. I don't like that whole mom mentality thing and cult leader type thing, where it's like you're either with us or you're against us. Well, I'm an independent person, libertarian. So
sorry.
Did you hear me?
Libertarian.
Oh, I said I'm gonna go ahead and hop down. Thank you for
you said? No, I didn't hear that. That's why there was an awkward silence. All right. Thank you, Alicia. Now, don't be talking about me in other chats, or I'm going to bash you and shun thee.
That's what I was going to do right now. That's why I'm trying to hop off. I don't want to miss the other people that are live. So
yeah, you go ahead and check out the streamers. Go ahead and get in it and tell them you told me what for over here.
Yep. You sent me. That's
Tell them I sent you. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, thank you, Alicia. That's a perfect time to say bye, Alicia. Is that what was it? Is that the old saying that people used to say?
what?
Was it bye, Alicia?
Felicia.
Felicia. My bad. Bye, Felicia. I mean, Alicia.
All right. Bye, Jimbo.
See ya. All right. So, got some questions answered. I tried to go on Liberators chat channel today. They had the link out in chat, and everybody, no. Lots of people were saying, Jimbo, go on panel, answer their questions. So I tried to, and I was immediately blocked. So, and then they really, really didn't treat Alicia right either. So I just, let's answer the questions. They had Alicia up asking questions. So here she is asking me the questions. So, and if any of y'all have any questions that I've missed, you got something you want me to answer, go ahead and ask it. Let's get it out of the way. And the link I put in chat earlier, if somebody got a question and you want to come up here and face it face to face and ask it, come on. That goes for you, Kenny. Come on. Don't be scared. Just ask. I have a procedure in the morning. I have to be there at 6:15 a.m. So, yeah, they did block me. They blocked me. They sure did, Donna. They didn't want me to tell the truth. They wanted to spread what they say, and that's what they did. Months. I'm gonna call you DA or dummy, but months. It was months. They were around for months. It wasn't 12 is 12 then. Not until Liberators took the $40 in gas, and I called it out, and they got all mad over it. Then it was 12 is 12. You asked what? Light? Did I miss a question from you, Light, within? I don't see it. I got a question, Jimbo. Are you worried? No, I ain't worried at all. Oh, about tomorrow? Yes. Yeah, I am worried. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. That's right. Don't be scared, homie. Don't be scared. Oh, and this thing with this lady that used to be a moderator for Ernie. So Ernie was here at my house, and he gave me her information, her driver's license, because she's one of those idiots that gave Ernie Shell her driver's license. And she had some very big things to say about me, even when they posted my address at 1100 Waterworks Road. She even drove out there to check it out for everybody. Didn't you? And when I drove by your house, oh, Jimbo there hunting me with a gun. No, I wasn't, you big idiot. Drove by your house, though. I got the video to show it. I mean, your camper. I drove by there. I sure did. You drove by my house. You doxed my address. That's right, dummy. That's right. That's the right one. Yep. So don't play ignorant when it comes to you, because you did it first, right? You came to my house, made you report, right? Reported back. Didn't you? But when Jimbo does it, oh, he's always got a gun, don't he? Always got a gun. Yeah. He's got one of them pew-pews, right? Right? That's what you say? Roger Brown. Why are you telling people I hunted you down with a GUN, homie? Why are you telling people I had somebody with me, homie? I still got the video. I didn't have no GUN. I didn't have nobody with me. I came up there to stomp a mud hole in you and walk it dry. And you wouldn't come out and play. So go on somewhere, you dirty dog. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I heard he went on Ernie's panel. I haven't seen it yet. Right, he is big and bad, big and mean. Yeah, he's unalived all these people. By the way, I just found out today that about a month ago, a young man in the school system where I work unalived himself. A student. Want to know why? Can anybody guess why he did it? Good night, Judo. Thank you for the prayers, brother. Bullies. He was being bullied. And he took himself out of this world. Now, is the bullying worth it? Liberators, both of you. Both of you. After BDAC gave you the $40 in gas, and I said BDAC gave him $40 in gas, I didn't say nothing negative about you, period. I said something true, that BDAC gave you $40 in gas. After that, you hounded me and bullied me until I started fighting back, right? Right? Everybody likes to point them fingers, don't they? I know, Jimmy. I know you have, buddy. Oh, that's great, mystery lady. All right. I am going to have to get in the sack. So we'll go live tomorrow night. I might go live from a special venue on Saturday. Or I might join somebody else's live from a special venue on Saturday. Be a special guest. In my pajamas, even. Oh, part 2 tomorrow? Sure, we'll do part 2. Sounds good. You guys have an interviewer picked out, you can have them ask me whatever they want. Like, got no reason to lie. Truth always comes out anyway, don't it? All right. Thank you all for the prayers. God bless you all. I'll be praying for you too. Even though I'm backslidden. This is Jimbo coming to you live from the stand.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm brokens overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes my dynasty.